Hey there yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you from my living room here in Vancouver, Canada. So welcome. Today is Tuesday, January the 26th, 2021, and this is video number 93. Before I get going, I just want to send out a huge happy Australia Day to all of my friends and family down under in Australia. I am 19 hours later because I'm on the west coast of North America and my time zone is 19 hours later than Australia. Australia's east coast, by the way, because that's where my family is from. But I hope that you had a great celebration, that you enjoyed your Australia Day. So if your very first time is here on Urban Yarn, hi, I'm the host, and I set this channel up to talk about all of my yarn adventures, and I'm getting very tongue-tied already. So that is knitting, crocheting, a little dabbling in hand dyeing of yarn, as well as acquisitions like where I purchase my yarn from. I talk about price points and any sales that may happen along the way. So if that kind of stuff interests you, please stick around. I'd love it for you to give me a like if you like the content, and think about joining us here amongst our fiber friends by hitting the subscribe button down below. And to all the subscribers who have returned, welcome back. Good to see everyone. I hope that you're enjoying your January. So what have I got today? I've got a few things that are finished, one item that is quite a larger piece that I'll be working on for a while, so a work in progress. I also have some happy mail. I've got to touch base on some things regarding the Teespring. I have created some merchandise and I have sent that off to be sampled, and I'm going to be looking at the quality of it when it returns before I release that out to you guys so that you can purchase it too. So happy mail. I got something from my mum as well I want to share with you guys, and I think that's about it. Yeah, I'll catch up on some other things as well that I've been up to for the week. But let's get going on the finished items. As you can tell, I'm wearing one of them here. It's a cowl. I didn't follow any pattern. I was just playing around with stitches. So there was no rhyme or reason for this piece at all. I had some economic yarn that I wanted to get through, some hand-dyed tests that I did as well, just to see how they played up with each other. And what do you think? I really enjoyed learning a lot from this piece. There are things that I don't like about it. There are things that I do like about it, which I'll carry on with the next cowl that I do with other yarn. So I'll take it off so that you can have a look. It's a snugger fit. I started from the top down and I used circular needles. I believe it was a 4.5 set of millimeter needles, and I started with 1x1 ribbing here, then I went to 2x2 ribbing, and then I started doing some slip stitching. I added in another yarn here from this avocado green into a hand dyed yarn just to test up how it would look. So I went then into stockinette, and here I started to reintroduce the avocado green, and I was doing every third stitch in the avocado green, and that worked into this ribbing down here. Because I had held my tension quite tightly with the color work here, it cinched in, so it kind of went into a curve, and then directly after that I added in an increase. Every third stitch I added a new stitch, so it kind of ballooned out a little bit towards the end, and it created a little bit of a wrinkle in the fabric. And I then started doing some more ribbing work with color change out here, and ending it with a 1x1 ribbing again at the end. So it may need a heavy blocking just to iron out some of those crinkles, as well as the curve at the end. But what I did learn about this was I really liked the solid switching out of color with the hand dyed yarn, And I think I might be doing more of that. And I really enjoyed as well where I put the extra stitch work, the extra stitches every third stitch into the ribbing and ballooning it out. So that really worked up well. Because it's a tighter caul around the neck, where it does curve in, just by chance, it happened to be the place where a coat would fit into. So the collar work of a coat. And what I liked, that there wasn't any bunching up of fabric. It was actually a natural way of the coat to fit into that little cinched in area. So just as a matter of wearing the cowl comfortably with other garments, I really like that curved area in to the cylinder of the cowl. So I'm thinking about doing more of those in different yarns and trying out different color work as well. What I did use, it was this green here called Avocado, and it is from Line brand, and it is their Wool Ease. So it is a wool blend of 80 acrylic and 20 wool. And it is quite a fuzzy yarn as well. I held that together with another yarn, which is a sport weight yarn, and it's from Kartopu Angora Natural. I purchased this from hobium.com way back last year before they closed their international online store for a while, and the colors just worked out really nice together. Similarly, this is a wool acrylic blend, and it has 10% wool, 10% mohair, and 80% acrylic. So really nice yarns together. I use those together. And where I was working up the stockinette, which is the hand-dyed portion of the cowl, was in another Hobium yarn called Just Wool. And I had originally, it was purchased in a light grey colour, and I overdyed it with these greens and speckles with blues and a little bit of a more of a yellowish green here as well, like olive green. So all of those went into this cowl. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. I think what I did not like about it was, I should talk about the things I don't like either, was the slip stitching here. I didn't like the way it worked out with the slip stitching and then drawing that float in front of the garter, the ribbing. So that kind of, to me, looked a little messy. I'm not sure whether I like that going across the front of the ribbing. But yeah, maybe in a different color combination it might work a bit better, but to me that one kind of made it look a little bit messy. The second finished project was my hubby's co-worker who had requested for me to do a slouchy hat for her. So she provided me with the yarn, and she also provided me with a free pattern, which I'll link down below. And it is called the Simple Pleasures Hat in Line Weight and Tussock. So that's it there. It's got probably around 10 pages, 10 pages in the pattern, but most of them are a selling point for yarn combinations to use in the pattern. I think the pattern's only really one page, and then there's lots of beautiful photos of the piece worked up. So here it is. So this is the ribbing section. It's quite a long ribbing section, and then it has the slouch, which closes off quite dramatically. I think there's only about 4 to 5 rows or rounds as you're decreasing, and then you're cinching quite a lot of the stitches together. So that's how it looks at the end. Really nice kind of cinched up cylinder that will look great with a pom-pom if the wearer wants to add a pom-pom to this. It just gives a nice perch for the pom-pom to sit on. So what I used that was supplied in that make was have a look here. It was from Lichen and Lace. So this was the mohair that I put into the crown part of the hat design. So I held two strands of this mohair with Rowan felted tweed. I don't have any left. Oh, maybe I have a little bit left. Yeah, I do. So this is the Rowan felted tweed that is in the ribbing section as well as the crown. I held two strands of this in the ribbing and then dropped one strand and replaced the second strand with two strands of this mohair. I believe it's mohair silk from Lichen and Lace. So that's the way the colors worked up. Really, really nice. I did run out of the Rowan felted tweed. It kind of ended about here. As you can see, there's like a line that goes around down there. So I had to choose another yarn to finish the hat off in the slouch. And I used two strands of this tweed here with the mohair. And so it kind of like pokes through the fabric, all the fluffy viscose tweedy bits. So I really like that. It gives it a little bit more interest as well with texture. So it was a nice transition. So I was allowed to play up some license there. I did consult with the person who wanted me to do the hat, because I was explaining to her that if I just used the full Rowan tweed, that it would be a tight fitting, almost like a skull cap, and it wouldn't cover ears, and it would be sitting quite high, and the brim would be sitting quite high as well. So she said that I could take license to how I felt it would suit her as well. So I thought the slouchy was a good approach to add this grey colour into the mix as well. The grey tweed was this Ice Yarns here, and it was classified as a 2 fine, so a sport weight, and it was 60% wool and 10% viscose and 40% acrylic, and it was classified or called light grey, the colorway. So that was that work in progress finished. That work finished, I should say, not work in progress, but work finished. The work in progress that I've got to show you is a big project that I'm working on. It is a blanket that uses it's crochet, so it uses a stitch called the double slip stitch, and it ends up looking like knit stitch, sort of like the V's of knit stitch, and it's fully reversible, so it does have a ribbing that is reflecting on both sides the same. And I am using 3 yarns right now. I've just changed out my 3rd yarn because I ran out of the color, and I'm changing it with a new color, so my 4th color that I'm adding in. And what I'm using is this huge monster ball here that's looking really sad right now. Here we go. It's from the tent sale that I got, and it was Spin Right. Had a huge sale a couple of Octobers ago. I think like October of 2018, 2019, October 2019. And so I purchased 3 of these huge balls in different colors. This one is called Grass, I believe. I think it is called Grass. I remember thinking, I wonder who would be like proud of their grass if it was this color. I think it was called Grass, and so that's the main color that I'm gonna have repeating all the way across, because I want to use up the ball. And I'm pairing it with a couple of yarn here. There's this one here from Craftsmart, and it's their value line. This one is a variegated yarn, and the colorway is called Stone Washed Ombre. So really nice colors there. Kind of neutral-ish colors, more warm tones. There's beiges, there's browns, a little pink in there. And this one here as well, I'm using. And this one is I Love This Yarn from Hobby Lobby. And the colorway for this is called Green Turquoise Red. So that's in there as well. And I've just started putting in a fourth color, which is from Cozy Baby. And it's a Michaels brand loops and thread. And the colorway for this one is called Red Rock. So there we go. Yeah, so it's going to be a blanket. Right now, what I've chained up is around 6 foot, I'm going to say 6'2" in length. And then I'm just going to be working up maybe around, say, 5 feet in width. So enough for a person on a couch who wants to kind of like keep warm. I really like the colors and how they're working up. Striping. It's going to be a bit loud, but I don't mind. I'm using a 5mm crochet hook, and it is a little denser and quite a thick, cushy stitch with the 4-weight. But I think after a wash, it's going to relax a little bit more and just be really nice. I find that with blankets, I'd like to have a bit more cushion and a bit more tighter stitching, only because the nature of it will be quite large in the end, so a lot of weight will be in behind the blanket. So if you pick it up, I don't want it to feel like it's kind of warping out of shape. So this is quite a good combination of the 4 worsted, the stitch being a little bit more tighter, compact with a 5mm crochet hook, and yeah, I think it'll wash up really, really well. So all of the acrylic that I'm using is easy care. So throw it in the wash, put it in the dryer, and you're set to go. So those are the finished items of my week. So I'm going to catch you up now on a little bit of Happy Mail. As it is Australia Day, I received from my mum a late-ish Christmas gift, a care pack that came through. I've already eaten, hubby and I have already eaten the cherry ripes, which are one of our favorite candy bars from Australia. So I can't show you the wrapper of that because that went as soon as pretty much a couple of days after the package arrived. But inside was, my folks went to a little bit of I guess a holiday when they could get out of their place with the pandemic happening in Australia. They got out to spend some of October in a different part of Australia. So they had a little resorty place that they went to. And right close to there was an art gallery of an artist called Pro Heart. So they sent me one of his artworks on a tea towel. And you can see down below there is his signature there called Pro Heart. So for the people who don't know much about Pro Heart, he is an artist who had a television show when I was growing up of how to create artwork. So a little bit like, I believe his name's Bob Ross from North America. So this is one of the pieces that he had designed on a carpet. And what he had done was, there was a cleaning product company, like a carpet cleaning company, that sponsored him to do his best damage on one of, I guess it was a really expensive carpet. And so this is what he came up with. So he threw on like all types of different food toppings, and there was a cake that he kind of like blew up with a bit of an air rifle, and it was just caked on crazy. So this is the work that was on the carpet. So part of the gimmick, I guess, or the sell feature of the carpet cleaner was that it would be able to get anything out of the carpet. So it was a bit of a I guess he was a bit of a brand that I grew up with. Many other people did as well. So they may actually, if you're Australian and kind of my age bracket, you might know who Purl is. So I got that. Thank you, Mum, and thank you, Mum's husband, Robert, for that beautiful gift. And I also got some more happy mail as well from a fiber friend out there. Her name is Doris, and she has a channel. I believe she has a YouTube channel, but I know her mostly on Instagram, and it is the Rose Cottage Studio. So she sent me a box of goodies I have here. Hi, Doris. So this is the box here, and a card inside the box. Oh, I've got that upside down, haven't I? Beautiful, beautiful card. Lovely watercolored background. A true friend is one of the life's most beautiful gifts. So true. It's so true. And a lovely message, personal message. I won't read it, but thank you, Doris. It's just a beautiful message. So let's have a look inside of what Doris has sent. She sent me a couple of teas here, and the Night Calm tea from Twinings, oh, that's kind of like reflecting there, is a non-caffeinated tea which promotes sleep, and I guess eases the mind from worrying about certain things. So I like that very much. And it is a combination, I believe, of chamomile and vanilla. Herbal teas and spearmint, cooling spearmint and chamomile. So sorry, there's no vanilla in it, but really, really nice. They smell amazing. So this is one that I've opened. It's called Winter Spice, and I've tried a few of these. I love this one so much. It's delicious. Again, it is caffeinated free or caffeine free, and the flavor is apple, cinnamon, cardamom, and cloves. So very, very Christmassy and festive flavors there. I also got some of these teas here, which do contain caffeine, and in her card, Doris says that mistakenly she purchased them, but couldn't have them because of the caffeine in there. So she has generously gifted these to me, but I don't have the machine to operate this, but I figured out that I can pull back the tab and just soak them in a strainer in hot water, and they just do the same. They taste the same as they would do with that specialized machine. So really enjoyed this flavor as well. It's called Hot Cinnamon Spice, and it's a black tea. Really delicious. And also in that package was some ice yarn. So I got a pack of 8 in one pack. I believe they're both the same. Yes, so 8 pack here and a 2 and I'm going to say a half pack of baby alpaca merino. Let's talk a little bit about the yarn and the makeup of this yarn that Doris has generously gifted to me in this package. It is baby alpaca merino. So they're classifying it as a 4 medium weight, suggesting 4 to 5 millimeter set of knitting needles or crochet hook. It is 50 grams per ball. I have a number of balls in the collection here that I will be able to make a larger piece if I choose, like a cowl or a scarf. I can't read the content very well. It has been covered and obscured with the silver printing here. But I can tell you it is a combination of fibers from baby alpaca, extra merino wool, and extra fine merino wool, and polyamide. The care instructions are you can wash on a 30-degree, I think that's Celsius water like cycle. I'm not sure whether you can tumble dry it because there's no symbol there for tumble drying. I would say lay flat just to, safeguard that it doesn't shrink. It is a chain spun yarn, so quite a light yarn with a bit of stretch to it. So nice and bouncy, and there is some halo on it. Felted kind of look. It doesn't have any gloss to it. It is quite a matte finish. So really, really nice. Thank you, Doris, for those yarns. That's really great. Touching base on some of the other things going back a few videos ago was the branded merchandise that I'm working on with Teesprings, and I just sent them a whole, I'm going to say 2 other experiment samples that I've got, and I wait back to see how they look, and if I'm happy with them, I will put them onto the Teespring website, and people who are interested in purchasing t-shirts or mugs, they'll have the chance to go on over there and purchase them. In amongst watching my favorite YouTubers this week, hubby and I have been getting hooked on watching a documentary from Netflix called Becoming You. It is 8 episodes of brilliant documentary recording of how we develop as human beings from day 1 to day 2000. So Becoming You is 8 episodes, each episode devoted to a different strand of, conversation, whether it is developing in language, developing motor skills, developing thinking patterns. Each episode is devoted to a separate theme, and the kids are just adorable. There are some fun moments in there where, as children, they do the strangest things to learn. So, to keep that into consideration when you're watching it, it could be a little bit of a giggle or chuckle along the way. And so if you're interested in watching something different, Becoming You on Netflix, I'd love to hear, if you do choose to watch it, what your thoughts are, and share them with everyone. That would be great. Here down in the comments. With that, I think that covers everything. I've talked about my finished items, my work in progress, and a little bit of happy mail. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I'll see you next week. So have a great week and stay safe. Bye, everyone.